Hi everyone. Our topic is the importance of leadership in groups. My name is Kim and member of Sakura, Kalis, and Deb. We are watching the TED Talk video presented by Simon Sinek with the title, Why Good Leaders Make You Feel Safe. Everyone can do remarkable things when they are in the right environment. Simon tells a story about a Captain Wilson who was running into the light fire to rescue the wounded and put out the dead. He gave a kiss to a wounded soldier who had received a gunshot to the neck when he put him into a helicopter before he turned around to rescue more. A question is why he could do that. The people who we call heroes, why do they sacrifice their lives for others? In this picture, we see a deep sense of love, trust, and cooperation. Why we can't control outside world, but we can control what happen inside an organization. That's why leadership is in groups is very important. Leaders who create an environment, create safety and trust. Another story from Simon talk about Charlie Kim, who is the CEO of a company called Nature Meme New York City. He makes a point that if you have hard times in your family, could you ever consider laying off one of your children? We could never do it. Then why do we consider laying off people inside our organization? When a leader chooses to put the safety and lives of the people inside the organization first, to sacrifice their comfort and sacrifice the tangible results so that the people remain safe and feel like they belong. Great leaders support their people by giving them opportunities, guidance, and the freedom to learn more mistakes. True leaders care about their people more than just numbers or profits. In an organization, a workplace, a group, or a company, when we feel like we belong and feel safe, our natural reaction is trust and cooperation. A safe environment can develop people in their skills, ability to face challenges, and achieve the best. When people feel safe and protected by their leaders, they naturally walk by their heart, not follow orders from the authority. I believe most of us want to follow true leaders because they inspiring and supporting us. Up next, Deb will present the analysis. Thank you.
Analysis. How do good leaders make people feel safe? As stated in the introductions, environments play a crucial role in how people work as a team or come together to create an outcome or achieve the goals. Here are some ways that good leaders make people feel safe or create safe environments. Good leaders treat people like human beings, not objects. Good leaders are very selfless. They create an environment that makes people feel safe and whole. Good leaders trust that people will do the same for them. The next question would be, how do they do so? They do this by putting humanity first, sometimes sacrificing their own foundations for the good of other people. They give people opportunities and put them in positions to do better than themselves. They make sure people's needs are met physically, mentally, and emotionally. They also make the environment safe as possible for other people. They establish solid trust foundations for their tribe. We briefly describe how good leaders make people feel safe. They serve a higher purpose for the good of humanity. They care about the well-being of others and understand that in order to properly create a system that works together, they have to create a safe and cohesive environment that not only address the needs of people, but fight the rights to be treated like human beings. An example assignment, we can use the example of Bob Chaplin, the leader of a large manufacturing company called Barry Weidmiller. They hit a recession in 2008 that made them consider layoffs. Bob refused to proceed, and they created a solution, a furlough program. The furlough program consisted of requiring every employee to take 4 weeks of unpaid vacation leave. This is an example because it emphasizes how a good leader would sacrifice their numbers over sacrificing the people. Leaders realize that community and the different parts of a team are more important than the numbers and the money. Without the workers, there is no money. It mentions that Bob believed it was much easier to replace numbers than valuable employees. Some more examples include Mother Teresa and Gandhi. Mother Teresa is known for founding the Mother of Missionaries of Charity, which was a congregation for poor Roman Catholic women. The order of the missionaries was to serve the disadvantaged and disabled groups of people in India. In addition, we have the example of Gandhi. Gandhi was most known for being a very famous activist for the discrimination and unfair treatment of Indians in the British regime. He ultimately became one of the most impactful leaders in the Indian independence movement. The different types of leadership styles. There are many different types of leadership style, but the only three that we should focus on right now are democratic, autocratic, and laissez-faire. Democratic leaders focus on balance and power between the people. This is useful for collaboration and can lead to positive, healthy system if used correctly. Then you have autocratic leadership, also known as authoritarian leaders, and have sole control. They do not allow people to intervene or have a say. This can most times lead to an unfair, unbalanced system that does not allow people to express their needs. Then you have laissez-faire leadership, which gives leaders full control to people or the group to make decisions. The leaders do not interfere. Next, we'll proceed with Caleb. We'll give more information.
The main points discussed in the video are: good leaders make you feel safe because of the deep sense of trust and cooperation the team feels with them. Good leaders have a "they would do it for me" mindset, which can help others around them feel more safe. And good leaders involve feelings, not only orders. Real-world academic connections. A real-world academic connection in academics on how good leaders can make their team feel safe is a group project, for example. A student that takes charge of the group and is a good leader will lay down a strong foundation for the group to follow and will put a part of themselves with each group member, making them feel secure and like they have someone to rely on with their end of the workload. A group leader in a group project setting could also help the rest of the group connect easier and work more as a team than the individuals holding up only their end of the work. Another example of good leaders in academics is a good professor that involves themselves in with the students' work and can act as a helpmate and want the students to do well and actually learn instead of just simply doing work. Real-world professional connections. An example for how a good leader makes their team feel safe in a professional connection could be in a hospital, where if the nurses feel stressed out or flustered due to a large amount of patients, the manager could come in and calm them down and even allow them help in the areas they lack to make the job easier for them, instead of constantly pressuring them on getting back to work. Another example of how good leaders in professional environments make others feel safe is a boss at a sales corporation. If there are employees lacking in the amount of successful sales, a good leader could approach them, find the cause of the problem, and help them learn from it and become better, rather than coming to them with anger and disciplinary action.
As our project progressed, we came to an understanding that leadership was never about giving instructions or holding authority. True leadership is about how our members feel and creating an environment where trust and cooperation thrive. The leadership is so important because the leaders set the tone. Someone can create a healthy environment where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued, which is how you can create strong bonds. We also learned that these qualities match up with the democratic and laissez-faire leaderships, but notice that laissez-faire doesn't have that much guidance. There needs to be a balance between freedom and discipline. However, another individual can create an atmosphere of struggle and bring suffering to everyone. That same person most likely also tells people what to do with the expectation that everyone will do it. That is an example of autocratic leadership where one person makes all the calls. We also put into perspective how these can negatively impact people within the group, leading to feeling a need to defend yourself. Some important tips for effective teamwork is to actively listen, appreciate all ideas and contributions, communicate effectively, and support each other. It's more than just hearing everyone's thoughts, it's listening, taking in, and valuing what's all brought to the table. That way, success isn't accomplished or credited by one person, but the achievement is felt by everyone. Thank you to those who are listening. We encourage all to take these qualities and apply them to the future when needed.